Well, hello, welcome back. We're going to be starting our RDSP 6720 course, which is the Reading Assessment, Early Literacy Reading Assessment, K3. So, I want to just kind of set you up with what we're going to do prior to class beginning in January. I'm going to ask you to practice the Acadience, aka Dibbles, so that's one less assessment we have to look at in class. And the reason why I chose Dibbles is because, one, many of you do it in your job, right? You're doing it probably 3 times a year and maybe more for progress monitoring. Those of you who may have taken me for undergrad, you practiced and you did it in the field. And then those of you who haven't done it in a while, this will be a good refresher for you. So if you look at our Blackboard shell, there I am, looking slender as ever. But on the left-hand side, prior to week 1, if you go to this and open up this folder, there's some things that I have listed here for you. So this is what I need you to do prior to class. I'm going to have you administer the subtest of Acadience at both the 1st and the 3rd grade level when it comes to one of the subtests. So let me explain. So I'm going to have you practice first sound fluency, FSF. I'm going to have you practice phoneme segmentation, PSF, nonsense word fluency, NWF, the ORF, which is oral reading fluency, and I want you to practice it at both the 1st and the 3rd grade. So that subtest, the ORF, I want you to practice it twice, once at the 1st grade, once at the 3rd grade level. When we get into class, that will make a little bit more sense when we're talking about our literacy assessment reports and our case studies that we'll be doing for the semester. So we're going to be jam-packed. So if you don't know where to find these materials, you can go right to the Acadience website. I have it there for you. You can download everything you need for free. Be cautious though, because you're doing this by hand. You're not doing it on an iPad or on your computer like you may be doing at work. So you'll have to download both and print the student copy, and you're going to also want to have the assessor copy so that you can write down those scores for whoever that student that you're using. So you want to have that. So you can simply select, there's the student materials. I'm going to show you the teacher materials. We want to look at benchmark. We're not going to do progress monitoring just for the sake of argument. And let's just go to the scoring booklet. So go there. Now the scoring booklet's a little tricky to print if you haven't done that in a while. Maybe you're doing all of this electronically now at work. It's a little tricky to, I'm just going to go to 1st grade. It's a little tricky to print. So there are printing directions on here. But the reason I bring up the 1st grade teacher is so that I can show you all the subtests are in this 1st grade, even though for that ORF you'll need to print the 3rd grade as well. But just that section. So you'll notice these page numbers at the bottom because the printing is odd. But if you look, just for the sake of argument, follow me along. Here's the letter naming fluency, the LNF. So you see that that's in there. You also, when I scroll down, have the PSF, the phoneme segmentation fluency. So you'll have to print the student copy that goes with this. You also have in here, I'm just going to find the nonsense word, the NWF, nonsense word is in here. And then, as you can see, as I have scrolled through, the ORF, the oral reading fluency, are in here as well. Again, this is for 1st grade. If you were to go back to downloading materials, go back, I can do the same thing. Student materials. I'm going to go benchmark. I'm going to do student materials. Let's pull those up. And you'll notice do the download the PDF, and this one's real straightforward. I mean, it prints out just, you know, typically as you would expect it to. So again, there they are. To match them up, there's the letter naming, right? There's the nonsense word, so forth and so on. And you might have to print a couple of the student materials just based on when those assessments are administered, at what grade and what time of the year, whether it's beginning, middle, or end, right? Fall, winter, spring. So if you need help with that, of course, reach out. There are videos on the website as well. So if you want to, you know, refresh your memory on how to administer some of those assessments, by all means, you can do that. So if we go back to this, you used to need a password to get in. It looks like you no longer need that, so you can ignore that. And then I also have the benchmark goals so that you can look at those and just hypothetically, right, here's where my student, here's what the benchmark is, and here's where my student falls within those numbers. So it just gives you a little bit of practice. If if you're working in the school and you want to grab a kid and do a quick practice, that's fine. Maybe you just administered, so then you don't need that practice. And then what we will do on the first night is any troubles that you're having, any obstacles, any explanation that you need, we can figure that out on the first night of class. But again, we have so many assessments to review and to practice that this is one I think that I can kind of let you do on your own, because so many of you are professionals and you do it every day. So that's the plan for the beginning of the semester, and you will come in fresh and ready to go. And if you're a secondary teacher, this will be a great introduction to what we'll be doing and the type of assessments that you'll be administering during this case study. Again, you'll need a child in grades K to 3, and we want to hit the ground running and really starting to work with that child the first week of class. So I will see you soon, and enjoy your dibbling, like we used to say. I guess we can't say that anymore.